Welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar Hub channel, your go-to destination for trusted insights and expert analysis on global currency trends, especially focusing on the Iraqi Dinar, AED, the Vietnamese Dong, VND, and the unfolding world of currency revaluations. Today's episode goes far beyond a routine update tab. It could mark a pivotal moment in currency investment history. For years, whispers of rate changes dominated forums, YouTube panels, and economic chats. But what we're covering now isn't hype. It's not based on wishful thinking. This is grounded in verified fact, and the impact of that fact is massive. This shift from speculative theory to confirmed information has global implications. It isn't just the currency community buzzing. Now institutional investors, global analysts, and central banks are locking in. Why? Because this moment might be the one we've waited for. Financial circles that once dismissed this as the Nara dream talk are now taking a second look. The revaluation news has officially entered mainstream financial discourse, and if this momentum holds, we're staring at a reconfiguration of how the global market values emerging currencies and how wealth might be redistributed as a result. By mid-2025, the global currency map looks almost unrecognizable compared to just 5 years ago. Yes, currencies have always been influenced by inflation, interest rates, or trade imbalances, but no one anticipated this. For decades, the Iraqi dinar was linked to chaos and corruption. Investors treated it as a gamble, but in a stunning turn of events, this perception is being rewritten thanks to confirmed intel from respected voices like Frank26. His detailed analysis now shows the IQD officially pegged as $5.39, a figure that cannot be brushed aside as hearsay. This is no longer theory, it's public record. The Vietnamese Dong's valuation has also taken a major leap, reportedly pegged as $4.22. For investors who held on through the storm, these numbers are life-changing. But beyond personal profit, this signals a powerful repositioning of Vietnam and Iraq on the global stage. These nations are no longer considered unstable or peripheral. They are now serious economic actors with a seat at the global financial table, supported by credible reforms and massive institutional engagement both at home and abroad. The IQD's transformation isn't happening by accident. It's the result of rigorous reforms, brave governance, and strict monetary policy coming together. For decades, Iraq was crippled by hyperinflation, black market currency manipulation, and state-level corruption. But starting in the early 2020s, that tide began to turn. With support from international partners and the IMF, Iraq introduced wide-ranging fiscal policies, clamped down on corruption, and stabilized its oil revenue systems. That laid the groundwork for a legitimate currency revaluation based on actual macroeconomic strength. Improved governance has brought transparency to budgeting and spending. The Central Bank of Iraq has implemented tighter controls on money supply, helping to rein in inflation. Strategic partnerships with international watchdogs have improved investor confidence. This isn't a coincidence, it's a calculated financial maneuver, and the $5.39 peg reflects years of heavy lifting. Iraq is now not just recovering, it's rebuilding its financial identity on the world stage. That's the real story behind the numbers. It's a story of calculated credibility, not speculative fiction. Frank26 isn't just any analyst. His reputation in the currency space is built on years of deep dive research. His investigations often involve meticulous examination of IMF reports, central bank data, and private banking documentation. This isn't conspiracy theory, it's disciplined economic analysis. Frank's recent confirmation of the IQD at $5.39 and the VND at $4.22 wasn't presented with fanfare, it was presented with data. And that data is now pushing conversations once relegated to forums into institutional boardrooms and high-level economic briefings. His conclusions aren't based on gut feelings. They're drawn from a body of evidence accumulated over years. This moment, he argues, is not just a rate change, it's a financial turning point for Iraq and Vietnam. Central banks are watching. Fund managers are adjusting their algorithms. Even global institutions like the IMF and World Bank are now reflecting these new benchmarks in their models. This is no longer niche investing, it's an institutional recalibration. Frank26 has put the spotlight on truths the world can no longer ignore. Vietnam, long overshadowed in Southeast Asia, is stepping into financial prominence. The VND, often undervalued and overlooked, now sits at the heart of a global realignment. Vietnam's transformation over the last 10 years is nothing short of extraordinary. Once reliant on agriculture, it now boasts robust tech exports and high-end manufacturing. Foreign capital has poured in, especially from firms looking to diversify away from China. This economic shift is now matched with a currency valuation that reflects Vietnam's new stature. Vietnam is sending a message: we're ready to lead. The $4.22 peg isn't just about numbers, it's about respect and recognition. Long-term holders of the VND who were once mocked now stand vindicated. The currency's new valuation signals that Vietnam is not a junior player. It's a rising power with the numbers and trajectory to prove it. From economic zones to diplomatic tables, Vietnam is asserting itself with bold clarity, and that clarity is reshaping how global investors weigh risk and reward in emerging markets. What's more, this isn't just about Vietnam or Iraq individually, it's part of a broader wave tied to central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Countries around the world, from the US to the UAE, are preparing digital rollouts. Iraq and Vietnam are no different. These governments understand that a strong fiat base is crucial before digital currencies can take hold. And now, with both the IQD and VND pegged as globally significant rates, their transition into digital economies looks more realistic and more stable than ever. Both nations are actively piloting blockchain platforms, developing regulatory tech, and preparing digital wallets for public use. This is about more than just digitizing Kasha, it's about upgrading entire financial ecosystems. With solid, stable fiat currencies now in place, the foundation has been laid for a leap into next-gen financial infrastructure. Citizens will soon experience faster transactions, greater transparency, and fewer frictions in cross-border trade. This is economic evolution in real time, and it's being fueled by credibility, not speculation. Now, if you're holding IQD or VND, the steps you take next are crucial. First, to verify your currency. Sadly, counterfeit notes are still a serious concern, especially with the IQD, and regulated sellers online are rife with fakes. That's why authenticating through licensed dealers or financial institutions is non-negotiable. Don't gamble your future on unverified notes. The next step is understanding your local banking system or how it handles foreign currency exchange, what restrictions or documentation you will need, and how best to comply. Tax strategy is another major factor. Capital gains, transaction fees, and foreign asset reporting laws can all eat into your profits if you're not prepared. Depending on your country, these financial events may trigger significant tax obligations. Consult a currency-savvy tax advisor now and not after the fact. Beyond taxes, think reinvestment. Don't just take profits and walk. This is your chance to grow smart, long-term wealth. Consider diversified portfolios that include stable assets and high-growth vehicles. Strategy beats luck every time. A final reminder: the Central Bank of Iraq has confirmed that physical dinar will remain valid through this transition, so there's no need to panic exchange unless you're ready. Iraq remains a cash-based economy for now. Digital systems are coming up, but this isn't a rushed phase-out. Smart investors know that timing, patience, and verified planning are everything. This is more than just a cash-in moment, it's the launch pad for what comes next. Currency alone won't make you wealthy. Wise decisions with that currency will. Zooming out, this isn't an isolated currency event. This is a macro-level realignment. Major banks and investment houses are already updating their FX algorithms and portfolio risk models. A shift in value this large from two key regional currencies demands a response. You can't ignore $5.39 IQD or $4.22 VND without opening your institution to risk. Capital flows are already being redirected, reserves are being rebalanced, and sovereign wealth funds are taking long positions they never considered before. In fact, we're seeing new dialogues emerge between financial leaders about how those revaluations might trickle through trade balances and economic diplomacy. Iraq, with stronger oil leverage, gains influence across the Middle East. Vietnam, with its new valuation, can negotiate with greater power in ASEAN and beyond. This isn't just about markets, it's about geopolitics. Currency values shift power, reshape alliances, and redefine strategies. The IMF, the World Bank, and global trade consortia are all taking notice. To appreciate the full scope of what's happening, remember this: every major currency reset in modern history came with national transformation. Post-war Germany with the Deutsche Mark, post-war Japan with the yen's rebirth, post-liberation Kuwait with the return of a strong dinar. In each case, a stronger currency was a signal, a beacon of national renewal, not just monetary gain. Iraq and Vietnam are following that same playbook today. The story isn't profits first, it's purpose first, anchored in sovereign credibility. We're watching history repeat itself in the most impactful ways: economic reform, currency reset, global repositioning. This three-step formula has defined every successful turnaround since 1945, and now, in 2025, that blueprint is playing out again. The lesson? Real wealth is built on real change. As you reflect on this moment, ask yourself where you stand. Are you just watching, or are you preparing to act? Are you part of the story, or just a spectator? It's time to choose wisely, because this is not a drill. Let's bring it home. Whether you've held IQD and VND for years or just joined the movement, now is the time to get informed and stay ready. Are you planning to exchange or convert to digital assets? Are you protected from tax traps? Are your notes verified and legit? These decisions will define your financial outcome, so don't go it alone. Join the conversation below. This isn't just a channel, it's a knowledge hub, a global network of thinkers and doers. Subscribe, hit the bell, and stay connected. The future has arrived. Disclaimer: the information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, investment, or legal advice. The views expressed are based on publicly available data, independent research, and individual opinions. Currency values can be volatile and subject to change. Always consult with a licensed financial advisor, tax professional, or a legal expert before making any financial decisions or currency exchanges. Iraqi Dinar Hub and its creators are not responsible for any financial actions taken based on this content. Viewer discretion is advised.